This is the AM News on the AM Show. Let's begin. Award-winning Ghanaian musician Kwame Eugene sustained injuries on Sunday night after ramming his car into an unarticulated truck. The accident occurred at CP, close to the DSTV office towards the Jolu traffic lights in Accra. It is unclear where the artist was headed, but according to editor of Modern Ghana News portal Emmanuel Ajagwa Burgri, who witnessed the accident, he was behind the musician's car when the accident occurred around 11:30 p.m. Now, the minority in Parliament is asking government to settle debts owed Electricity Company of Ghana by hospitals across the country. ECG has issued a demand notice to some hospitals across the country, including the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital, to settle their debts or be disconnected. Addressing journalists in Parliament, minority spokesperson on health, Kwabena Minta Kando, argued that any such disconnection will be disastrous. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante has a wrap of events from Parliament.
Several public health facilities across the country owe ECG several millions of Ghana cedis in debt due to their non-payment of their utility bills. The ECG has already served a demand notice on these health facilities, threatening to disconnect them if they do not pay up. The minority says government should step in and pay these debts.
They should put in all necessary steps, including all options listed above, to ensure that no health facility is disconnected from the national grid during this revenue recovery exercise by the ECG. The minority is also of the opinion that government should find other reliable funding mechanisms other than the IGF of health facilities to cover these important expenditure line items.
The minority are concerned that if ECG is to carry out this threat, so many lives will be lost. They also want government to cause an audit into the books of so many hospitals to ascertain whether or not they have enough resources to pay their utility bills or make the necessary budgetary allocations to pay for same. But still in Parliament, it's been 2 days of internet blackout, and so many mobile network operators are unable to provide internet service to their customers. And the minority in Parliament are demanding answers from the Communications Minister. Samuel Okudzeto Blackwise's MP for North Tongue is demanding that Communications Minister is brought before Parliament to answer questions.
To appeal to you if you can give a ruling that the Honourable Minister, when coming to respond to these questions, should come with a statement on this very important matter of national significance and what the government is doing to help restore normal.
Member of Parliament for Asawasi Muntaka Mubarak says the Communications Minister should not have waited for MPs to make their demand before coming to Parliament to provide answers.
The Speaker sometimes is worried that our ministers are not being very proactive, because I thought that naturally, having woken up to the challenge of yesterday, the Minister for Communication would naturally come to this House as a matter of course.
But Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin is informing MPs that he has already been in touch with the Communications Minister, who has agreed to come to Parliament on Monday to brief MPs on what is a real national security threat.
Meanwhile, I drew her attention to the fact that she is supposed to appear before us on Monday. So, she would come Monday instead and then do all together. So, members be assured that this will be done on Monday, so she'll be here.
Over the past few weeks, there have been several statements on the floor on the death of former members of Parliament and how they struggled in their last days. Members of Parliament have been reigniting the debate that there should be a relook of their conditions of service. Today, the Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, pressed the second Deputy Speaker, who presided over the House, to set up a committee to review the conditions of service of members of Parliament.
And we must resolve and make it mandatory for the state to take care of us. It cannot be that we would always come into public service, you leave, and sometimes an MP is seen in public and is wearing slippers, people say you are corrupt. Meanwhile, you don't have anything. Your salary is next to nothing. Mr. Speaker, I was better off in private practice. But
the second Deputy Speaker will not acquiesce to this demand. According to him, the House Committee of Parliament is already seized with this matter and should not be stampeded into actually making any recommendations. He says later on, if the House Committee makes any recommendations to the House and there's the need to set up a special committee, they will do so. MPs are set to go on break for Easter next week, Wednesday, and already there's a number of key issues that they have to deal with, including the District Assembly's Commons Fund, as well as the allocation to the National Health Insurance Authority. Next week will be quite a big week in Parliament when MPs would have to trash out all these issues before they go on Easter break. Reporting for JoyNews, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Kweku Asante there with up-to-date information from Parliament. Now to other stories. The National Democratic Congress's parliamentary candidate for Efutu, James Kofi-Annan, has charged members of the NDC not to allow aliens to elect their representatives into Parliament for them. He's accused the governing New Patriotic Party of resorting to votes from neighboring constituencies to win elections. He says his attempt would not be allowed during this year's elections in December. He made the remarks during a solidarity march in the constituency for the 24-hour economy proposed by the flag bearer of the NDC.
The National Democratic Congress on Saturday took over the principal street of Winneba in the Efutu municipality to show their solidarity for the 24-hour economy as proposed by their flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. According to the parliamentary candidate for the constituency, James Kofi-Annan, flagship programs by the current government have failed over the years, hence the need to support the idea of the 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy. This policy is a game changer. We know that over the years, various governments have tried to solve the unemployment problem in this country, but they have not been successful. Today, we have 1.8 million people who are unemployed, jobless in this country. Out of the 1.8 million, we have 1.3 million who are youth. Meanwhile, we have had youth employment programs, we have had JIDA, we have had NYEA, we have had NAPCO, we have had National Service, we have had so many things. And yet unemployment is still very high. It means that all the policy frameworks that have been brought by previous governments have failed. It means that all the solutions that governments have provided have failed, including even the day-to-day activities. There must be an alternative. An alternative is what John Mahama has created and is bringing on board in this country as the 24-hour economy program. That is a game changer to solve all of our unemployment problems in this country.
He alleges the MPP over the years has depended on votes of voters who do not reside or come from the constituency. This phenomenon, he said, would be looked at critically going into the December polls.
I am winning the Efutu seat for the NDC. We all know that those people who come and invade our constituency to vote for the MPP they are not residents of Efutu. They are imported. Deliberately, the MPP has created and recruited at least 200 strong individuals and tasked them each to bring 100 voters from outside of this constituency. That alone makes a minimum of 20,000 to come and vote in this constituency. So, boot for boot, if the constituency members, those who are residents in the constituency, are allowed to vote, the MPP cannot stand the NDC.
He says his utmost priority would be the reconstruction of the Winneba Central Market when elected at the December polls. The Central Regional Chairman for the party, Professor Richard Akufo-Addo, says the 24-hour economy is the antidote to the joblessness being created by the free SHS policy introduced by the MPP government.
Now, Akufo-Addo says he has brought free SHS. A lot of people have completed the university and they're in the house. So JM is saying that he's coming to give employment to those people. So in this wise, factories will operate in trade-shift system, where the unemployed person can also get a job.
Professor Akufo-Addo again says the NDC does not take the majority leader, Akufo-Addo, serious for coming at their vice presidential candidate, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
For enough of us, we don't see Akufo-Addo as somebody who is serious. Because if you...
description of your running mate.
No, we don't take him serious. You see, we don't take age in assessing somebody's capabilities and competencies. If you are even 35 years and you are wise, you have wisdom, and you are competent, and you can implement policies to benefit the people, they will give you the nod.
Mustafa Bande, the Deputy National Secretary for the NDC, has labeled the majority leader, Akufo-Addo, as someone doing the bidding of the LGBTQ community. Peter Senu for JoyNews.
All the unemployed youth in this country, we say power to the people.
Moving on, the Global Fund is worried that some 200 containers of HIV antiretroviral drugs, tuberculosis cartridges, malaria test kits, bed nets, and other consumables worth $48 million have been stuck at the Kotoka International Airport since August 2023. This is because government has failed to pay charges to clear them. Most of these consumables are currently running out of supply across the country. Eric Nila Gira is Manager, Health Product Management at the Global Fund and a member of the Global Fund country team for Ghana.
I would really say that we don't understand clearly what has been the major root cause. According to the Minister of Health, the main issues about ECOWAS and African Union levies, which should be paid based on the decisions that were taken by the Parliament in, I think, July this year. But it is clear from our agreement with the government of Ghana that Global Fund does not pay taxes and levies. So this is something which has been unclear to us, and we continue to engage the Minister of Health to see how the situation can be addressed, because the beneficiaries are waiting for these health products, these life-saving products, which have been in the port for several months now. So we really hope that the leadership of this country will be able to address this problem as soon as possible, because not only we have issues around availability of health products, which translate into stockouts, but at the same time we are a big issue of expiry, because some of these products have shelf life. I mean, 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years of shelf life, and they've already spent 1 year in the port.
What's the monetary value?
The money that it's about it was around 40 million US dollars. Now it has reduced. I don't have the figure, but it's around between 35 and 40 million US dollars.
Now, CATS International wants relevant stakeholders to make a conscious effort to pass the Consumer Protection Bill into law. The group argues it's about time Ghana gets consumer protection law to protect the rights of consumers. Akufo-Addo is the Executive Director for CATS International West Africa Center.
The bill needs to get to Parliament from the Ministry of Trade, or Parliament has to work on it. But when those institutions that are tasked to get the bill into law are not doing their work, or when they are dragging their feet, that means that you are not going to get the bill. And I can also say that I would say that there has not been seriousness attached to this particular bill, because a bill that it was started in 2006, almost 18 years, the bill is still not in a final shape to go to Parliament, and it's a clear indication that whoever is working on it is not serious.
More than 450 underprivileged Muslim families in the Ashanti region have received food donations for the holy month of Ramadan. The support from Direct Aid Society is in response to a need assessment conducted in the Muslim community. Beneficiaries who received rice, cooking oil, tomato paste, among others, as part of the Ramadan package, beamed with smiles as they left the venue to usher them into the fasting period. There's more in this report.
This year's Muslim holy month of Ramadan, a fasting period, started on March 10, 2024. It is a period noted for the show of love and compassion toward the poor and needy in society. The current economic hardships in the country mean many families are denied the opportunity to partake in and fully adhere to the tenets of Ramadan. Hundreds of underprivileged Muslim families, including women and children, besieged the Kumasi offices of the Direct Aid Society, a charitable organization, to receive free food packages. The packages were from the benevolence of the donors of the Direct Aid Society.
How the system here is very, very hard for us. Sometimes having 3 square meals or even meals that we use for the Ramadan activities is very, very, very difficult. Even for the people that are joining me here to receive this. You might have think that you will get something to do the fasting by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then you have this one as also a bonus to it. It beefs up your let's see, your space and your horizon.
للمسلمين جميعا وجزاهم الله خيرا وجزا كذلك المتبرعين والمتبرعات وبارك الله في أسرهم والسلام عليكم.
Director of the Direct Aid Society in Kumasi, Anas Dawood, tells JoyNews the gesture forms part of the Islamic duties being carried out by the society.
2024, we are distribute around 400 food coupons to needy families in our community as a part of our Ramadan program. So we are praying to Allah to help us, support us, to can do more and more for these communities, and we are praying to Allah to help and support all the donors which they help us to do all these programs. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.
The Direct Aid Society, which operates in all African countries, was first established in Ghana in 2021. It provides deprived communities with free clinics, boreholes and classroom blocks. It has the vulnerable in society at the center of its operation, with an emphasis on charity and compassion towards those who are in need. It operates an orphanage, which currently has 150 inmates in Kumasi. It runs basic and secondary cycle schools. Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yeboah.
On that note, we wrap up for the AM News. Up next is the news review. Benjamin and I are back in a jiffy. You want to stay with us. Thank you.